Matheny started 60 years ago, actually. A couple, a doctor and his wife, who was a nurse, were interested in working with people with disabilities. And they had their first and only child who was born with a disability.
So they founded a school for the disabled, for their son Chuck, who was 6 years old, in the 40s. What happened over time was that the school became a residential school and ultimately became a specialized hospital.
80% of the inpatients at Matheny have cerebral palsy of one form or another. We do have a variety of other developmental disabilities. They're restricted in the way that they can use their arms and their legs.
I'm Mr. Matheny.
The Arts Access program began in 1993, November of 1993. The medical director at that time, Gabor Barabas, with the president of Matheny at the time, Robert Schornhorn, asked, is there a way that people who can't use their arms or legs, and some who can't speak, actually create their own unique pieces of art?
You all good? Very cool. So let me hang all these different paintings up and we'll see which one you want to work on. Outside of Matheny, I'm an illustrator, and we are required to be working professionals in order to facilitate here because we know the questions to ask. The facilitators must remain neutral in the process, that we can't infringe upon the creative choice of the clients. So you've been having a good day? And we want to make sure that this is a 100% accurate depiction of what they want, and that I'm not involved in the creation process other than being hands. You know, just a conduit to get paint on the canvas. See all those okay? Yep, his eyebrows up and down are his yes, so he's all good.
Everyone has a unique way of communicating. Some of our students are nonverbal, and they have different signals for yes and no. So a yes may be an eye up, and a no may be an eye to the side.
You see the one you want to work on today? This one? This one? This one? This is the painting? You want to paint on this one today? Okay.
For them to understand us and for us to understand them, it's really taken time to kind of bridge that gap of communication and understand one another.
Does this painting need to move anywhere for you to see it?
It is a constant process of checks and balances.
Come down. This way.
Basically what we've done is created a series of visual communication systems that, as long as someone has a yes or no communication system of their own, they can create art through the assistance of an artist facilitator.
What would you like to do on your painting? We've got shapes, lines, laser, splatter.
The menu systems are essentially based on visual representations of color, line, shape. The elements of art are the building block of any work of art.
You would like to pick a paintbrush? Round, pointed round, small detail, flat brushes, fan brushes. Take it as a yes, right?
Visual communication is the key.
Okay. That is the color you're going to use on this painting.
And also checking. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
Do you want to change anything?
What type of brush stroke?
Is this exactly what you want? Always reassuring that we are, in fact, reading them clearly.
Is it inside this taped off shape you're working? Okay.
Nothing goes on that canvas until I've said, is this exactly what you want? Is there anything you want to change?
Is that enough paint on that brush?
If they're cool with that, if that's what they want, if they don't want to change anything, then the brush touches the canvas.
Something needs to change? Do you need more of a dab? Or less of a dab? I need a haircut? I just had a haircut. You know, when you work with them, you feel a kindred spirit. What they're doing is every bit as valid as, you know, what I do on a daily basis. Is that how you want it to look? Very good. Glad we finally got what you wanted. All right, put the stuff away, clean up the brushes. Good work, man.
A lot of times you make quick judgments. You see someone in a wheelchair that can't move. How could they paint that? How could they be responsible for that? I always say it goes back to art history. You go back thousands of years and you have Michelangelo using assistants to help him paint the Sistine Chapel. Did you ever hear the assistants' names? No.
Art isn't coming from your hand, you know. It's all created up here in your brain. You know, every bit of it. It's all created with thought. And your hand doesn't magically go off and create a beautiful, oh, how's my hand just doing this? That doesn't happen, you know, it's all here.
So you have an artist like Saul Lewitt now who writes specific plans down to the letter of how he wants his murals painted. He'll say, I want this color, this brand of this color, mixed this way, this many scoops of this, painted in this triangle, to where he makes a blueprint of how he wants it. So every single choice about his artwork is made, yet he never touches it. He hires a staff of just house painters and different people to come in and paint his work. And the idea is all his. So who's the artist? Is it him or the people that painted it? Everything that's conceptual about that art is his. He just hired people to have it done. So fast forward to our program, we have hired professional artists to act as that conduit.
So who cares if your hands don't work? If you could think it, you can make it. You just have to tell somebody. And when you use their system, you can make it, you know, it's communication.
When you come in and you see it in action, and you see the patience and the amount of questioning that goes into each work of art, you get to see that, hey, this is coming from that student. Hey, these are different paintings. They don't look anything like mine. They don't look anything like Keith's, like any of our other facilitators. We have our own distinct styles. And as soon as we come in here, we check all that at the door. We are just an extra set of arms and legs.
You know, we serve a lot of clients here. There is a good 5 or 6 of them, maybe more, that in whatever body they were in, this is what they would do. You know, like Natalia, I could tell you, she'd be an artist.
My name is Natalia. Acting, directing, dancing, choreography, painting, digital art, digital sculpture, and music composition are the areas of art that I work in.
Natalia is a free spirit. She stands for herself. She wants independence. Her body cannot move except her hands, but she lives independently on an apartment. The reality is this: they're told what to do in every area of their lives. You know, when they wake up in the morning, somebody gets them out of bed. When they're hungry, somebody feeds them. I cannot even envision me living a life like she does.
Getting up in the morning is definitely completely different. You know, I make a cup of tea, I have some toast, I do whatever that is, and then I go take a shower. Natalia has to have someone make her food for her, you know, because she doesn't have much ability as far as movement and things like that. It's just completely different. I can't even imagine. You know, Natalia, she has to have someone bathe her, and if she needs to use the bathroom, she has to have someone help her go to the bathroom, and if she wants makeup on, someone has to apply that for her, and that's a woman who likes to look good. And I can get in my car and I can leave and go, and you know, she has so much more to think about just to get herself into the vehicle and be able to, you know, to leave each day. Do we both drive there? Yes. Is mine a lot easier? Yes, for sure.
Busy day, Matheny today.
I have dance.
I'm the dance coordinator for Matheny's Arts Access program. And at first it was kind of like, well, how will I incorporate them into dance movements? A lot of what goes on at Arts Access is their own individual choreography, which is an opportunity for them to create movement. not only on themselves, but on able-bodied dancers. And we have some very talented and creative choreographers there, Natalia being one of them.
Natalia comes here every single day and spends a day here, basically. She's down here more than any other artist. She is so committed.
The only thing that stops her is her van. It's always breaking down on her. Poor girl, I just, if I had money, I would buy her one just so she could come to classes, because she lives for art.
What is wonderful about Arts Access is that this is a place where no one's going to tell them what they have to do. Nat's always very serious. I think she's a gifted choreographer. The hard thing is not to speak for her, because Nat can't verbalize at all, really. She can make noises, but she doesn't really make a lot of noises unless she's frustrated. She has a communication board, and the hard thing with that is it's a very slow device. You have to learn to be a lot more patient, and things might take a lot longer because you have to wait for the communication, and that, I know, for her can get frustrating too.
May I? Change.
You want something, yeah, you want more dramatic, right? You know, Nat lets you know exactly how she feels about you, about her work, about how you are helping her execute her work, whether you're doing a good job or not, and whether you really understand her point of view. Oh, you don't want something pretty? No pretty? Okay. You want something rougher? You want like
H-U-R-T.
Maybe hurt and fall hurt. She's opinionated, she's an artist, she's got tattoos, and she has all the same wants and desires that we do. She's just such an interesting woman. She's wonderful.
I am person like you. Frustrated.
That. Angry.
More scared.
The fact they have a disability makes it difficult for them to express their inner life, but it makes it no less important than it does for you and I.
Yes or no? Yes? Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. Good job. Good job, everybody.
I was referred here, the Arts Access program. First, I'm like, real men don't paint, you know? A typical macho, alpha male type attitude. Then I thought about how cool and how, to themselves and reserved artists are. So I said, yeah, why not? Sure enough, my legacy began.
Okay, now do you want the Mars black, or are you mixing a black?
Mars.
You want the orange and the black, or the black and the orange?
Black and the orange.
Silver on the gold, or the gold on the silver?
Silver on the gold. I've come up with a lot of innovative techniques to expand the splatter technique specifically. The paint grenade was a really cool idea. I threw an idea on like, what would two balls filled to the top with paint, taped together, have an impact on the canvas?
He'll have Keith pre-mix tons and tons of color. So there's maybe, a dozen colors, and he has them throw them right in a row. He's had us climb ladders and throw paint. He's really tried to see what are the capabilities of this medium and how can I tailor this.
My mission as an artist will not be accomplished until I repaint the art studio with my excess splatter.
Working with Chris is a total body workout. I mean, that guy has had me do more crazy things on paintings than I would have ever thought. Like, literally, I've learned how to pitch, like mimicking pro baseball style, mixing 50 bowls of paint, and you know, taping them 2 together so it's like 25 grenades and throwing them as hard as I possibly can. You're more physically involved than just holding the brush and doing lines.
How long have you been working on this? Yeah, see, about 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's coming. I enjoy working with Keith a lot. Me and him identify on most things.
I've been working with him, I think, since he was maybe 15 or 16. I'm very close with him. You know, kind of look at him like a big brother, kid brother kind of relationship.
Silver and gold, silver and gold. He watches too many Christmas specials. Painting is all about chemistry, and the chemistry you have with a facilitator is profound.
Grab as fast as I can go. Yep. And aiming all of the middle, where it goes, it goes. Yep. Now, one thing I do want to bring up to you is that the last time we spoke about your painting, there was an area on the canvas, I think the upper right. The first one I throw, aim up there, and the rest of them go in the middle. Yep.
You know, it's just me and the canvas. Me, the facilitator, just helping me get set up and whatever. And we have the same mindset during painting. Sure. That is our primary focus and objective right now. Ready, go!
Bring it!
Every day when I do a painting, really get active and be aggressive on the canvas. It was just great.
I got on my head too.
Let me see. I put my feelings out on the canvas so people can see, visualize what I feel like every day. So, me as the person, I'm numb, but the canvas knows how I feel.
Just him as an artist, I've watched him take this medium of splatter and push it in a bunch of different directions. So it's been interesting to see what he's come up with. It's been a lot of different t-shirts I've had to toss out.
It wouldn't be art without the artist getting dirty. When you step into that studio, or when you grab a piece of paper and a pencil, you're controlling the outcome of things. Like, every day when I do a painting, that's a step in the right direction.
I've seen him deal with the struggles of things, you know, whether it's past issues, things that that he's personally divulged to me that I won't go into, and seeing it that come out in paintings, and just trying to get rid of those emotions.
The first time I ever completed a painting was like a bunch of rocks were lifted off of my shoulders. And that feeling is unbelievable.
Jenny is a writer. She's one of the people who I work with probably the most at this point because I work with her twice a week. You know, just this wealth of writing talent that pours out of her is like amazing.
Today I will do a poem.
Want to do a poem?
Yeah.
She'll say, I have a poem in my head that needs to come out. And I just get chills.
Like everything in the title.
She obviously can't type it on her own. So basically, I'm her hands.
What am I doing here? Hypocritical. People say, try to be truthful. I've always been a deep thinker, even as a kid. My first poem was called Why? that was about flying to birds, flying to airplane crash.
If they only knew.
Yeah. They see what they want to see. Some people need to learn emotional awareness. People need to know that we are, quote, normal.
There's a tendency to treat someone who's disabled as a child. You know, we're not respectful of them. We assume that if someone has a communication problem or a physical disability, that their mind perhaps is not functioning as well as ours, when in fact that's not true at all.
They have so much to say because they're people and people have things to say. And in listening to her, well, I found out she's a lot smarter than I am. She's like one of the most intelligent women I've ever met.
By the way, this poem I want you to respond to. You'll know which part.
Okay.
You'll know.
I'll know.
Yeah.
You know me, I don't always know things. Her personal mission is, through her work and through her writing, is to let people know what it's like to be disabled, and don't look away, but don't pity and don't condescend.
I feel though like going on an island and staying there. Now I'm opening up. My message is to educate people who are exposed to it. If you're not exposed, you don't know what to do with it. For me, judgment is a big issue. People don't take the time. I have 2 more lines.
Do they go at the end, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
All folks should never give their friends away.
Should never give their
Friends away.
things away?
Friends. 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 Come on.
Scenes? It takes time and patience and really listening, and I want to get what they're saying. I don't want them to get frustrated with me. And I think it's a skill or a lesson that can carry over into the rest of my life, because how often maybe do I not really listen to someone who is completely verbal and has no disability? Themes?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. We're here to not only be patient, but to give them the choices and to make sure that we know what their choices are.
And still stay off my island. Done.
4-page poem, baby. In case you were wondering.
No.
No. Why would you be?
When things get nasty, I communicate through my art. And a lot of people here can't speak. They live inside their head. So art access is vital.
Please touch me. Jerking.
pain. I know people around me are afraid. No touch, no touch. People around me are afraid, but it won't hurt. They're afraid to hurt themselves. They won't. You're afraid to get involved. You're afraid you don't know how to help me. I'm not asking for a relationship, just a touch.
We have a very, very fragile community that's very, very easily manipulated and toyed with. I mean, they have to deal with a range of emotions, of things that I will never, ever, ever have to deal with.
Some people believe that if you're not perfect, you're expendable. I was a DIFUS case. My father, I grew up with him mostly. My mother spent most of her days getting drunk, wasn't really there.
I used to tell him what to do, and he took him a while, but he did it.
Some days I felt like a big giant rubber band, that everybody was pulling me in.
The right way, the wrong way, and every which way.
I've been through everything. I've been through custody battles. It's life. Life hasn't been good for me. One night, my father had to go to a wedding, and my home health aide agreed to watch me. So 5-6 hours passed, and he told me that he couldn't stay, and I said that was fine as long as he left the door open, unlocked, and then he said I couldn't do that, it's a matter of safety.
He left them alone because Charlie didn't show up on time, his father.
5-6 hours go by again until my father goes home, and he sees me laying in a pool of my own waste.
That's how they took him away from my son, because he was not fit to take care of him.
I don't know, I never forgave him for it, and I guess that feeling is still there. Okay, this was when I was having a rough time, so I just decided, hey, I'm gonna write. To God I pray in grace, without a space. In your mercy, God our Father, I'm in a maze without a space. That's me.
This is extremely deep, extremely. It's, I don't know. I would always tell him, you gotta do what you have to do. It's okay. And one day he called, and he was rescued in the sense of taken to Matheny.
Almost turned to double play.
And then I got legal custody of him.
Damn it, Heilman.
Do you want me to make anything?
You could just make a quick sandwich.
All right, I'll do it. 1, 2, 3. See ya.
See ya. Didn't have much of a childhood, as I said, so I had to grow up very quickly, and I feel that made me a stronger person.
One of the challenges here at Matheny is trying to integrate our patients into society at large. We want our residents to be, in the community, meeting people in another venue, and hopefully developing relationships.
Today is an exciting day because it's really the first time that one of the dancers will be able to show a piece of their choreography among other choreographers. You can bring paintings, but if they're a dancer in their piece of choreography, that can't go without them. And that's the choreographer, and I want her to be able to speak for herself and experience the praise or even maybe not praise. Natalia is going to be showing a piece for a showcase that has existed for 10 years. It's a notable showcase and it's exciting, and I'm excited that this is going to be able to happen for her.
Thanks for coming today.
Hi, so nice to meet you. People tonight aren't going to know that they're going to see a piece by a choreographer with a disability. Tonight we'll kind of see how the work is accepted and how people interact with Nat in a situation where she's among contemporaries who aren't disabled. At Arts Access, many of them dream and wish and hope and want to have their work in a showcase like tonight, or to have their artwork hanging on a wall in a museum. They want these opportunities.
The fact they have a disability makes it difficult for them to express their inner life, but it makes it no less important than it does for you and I.
The individuals here have had to overcome challenges that the average person in the community hasn't had to do. And to have it appreciated by other artists, I think is invaluable.
I'm certainly hoping that somebody will leave there tonight realizing that someone like Nat, they might look at and write her off and think that there's not a lot going on inside that head, and there is a lot going on inside that head, and there's a lot to give and a lot to learn from her.
People say, oh, how wonderful you are, and I always wonder if it's because she's in a wheelchair. Look at how she's handled things.
Excuse me?
Like,
Excuse me?
like,
Light. Turn on light.
I would say that she considers herself an ambassador. Like, yeah, I'm an ambassador, I'm an advocate. I want people to know how different my circumstances can be, but that I'm just like you.
a lot of the time I feel I'm the only voice. I want to get my work out to teach people about disabilities.
At the end of a year, there always is some remarkable work. Full Circle is the year's wrap-up of the students' works. What we do every year is we show dance pieces choreographed by some of the students. The paintings, of course, are hung in the gallery. It's a day about the students' work, and it's incredible.
Well, it's really a dreary, rainy day, and it seems to be fitting to where we're at in the process, because we're in the muck of it. is our last day before performance because I like to give everybody a day off in between, especially because this can be really exhausting.
Put it up.
I don't oversee the gallery aspect of it, but there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Back up a little more.
It's gotta go. And we try to figure out what works have to be seen because there's so much great work, and how they can go well together, and how we're making sure that we communicate as best we can for as many of the clients as we can. This is my second year as artistic director of Full Circle. And, you know, we have to get it all together from soup to nuts. We're gonna get started, everybody. So are you guys all set up there? We are trying to set up everything we need for sound and lighting needs. Are you guys ready? Because we're gonna do a walkthrough of this piece without music. So you guys watch out, because we're gonna be walking through without music. But it's really tough to coordinate Full Circle. It's emotionally exhausting, it's mentally exhausting, it's physically tiring. We will have dressing rooms. Of course, when you bring in a lot of different elements, it leaves more things to chance. We're just figuring out lighting for book sale right now. We have Tony entering from stage right, but that should be in a blue-out, blackout situation. And that's always a worry about Full Circle because it's more things to go wrong. You do Jenny's piece, you're coming out with Jenny.
Right.
But who else comes out with Tony? Lona and Rachel.
Right.
I'm feeling good about this show. I think the show's spectacular. I think it's the best Full Circle in the 3 years that I've been involved. Walking through good people right now without music. But everybody seems pretty jovial, so I think we're gonna be fine. Thank you so much, everybody. I think it's gonna be a really, really wonderful show, and I'm excited. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. We, format an entire production, an hour-long production of arts access material. So this year's is the 15-year anniversary, so it's very exciting.
The whole couple months before the show, leading up, gets a little hectic around here. You know, everyone's doing what they can to pull the show. Usually finally comes together on the last day. You know, that's just the way it is.
It's been a long road, and we have just wonderful artists who've committed their time with disabilities or not with disabilities who are going to be a part of the production.
Are you nervous? Yeah? Why are you nervous? You're so good.
I know.
Got a nice shirt on? You're all ready?
I am.
Practiced? The music's good? Your dance is good? Why are you nervous?
You know, the whole show is a lot of hard work, but I feel that the clients put in more hard work than anyone. Every day, all year long.
I BS when I say I'm not nervous. Once I step into that room and there's hundreds of people seated down, it's gonna be like, holy shit. You know, what am I getting into? Holy hell.
It's crowded in here.
I've never seen so many people in my life.
What makes Full Circle great is that it gives our clients the chance to be seen and heard. There's a lot of great stuff happening here that needs to be seen. But not just for that, but for them, it's really, really important, I think, as people, you know, to have a value placed upon them that they might not otherwise receive.
Definitely get my mom buying something on film. It doesn't happen that often.
Every year we have Full Circle, and it's a day for them, and they take the time, they work hard all year, and it's nice that there's an event to kind of sum up that hard work and reward them.
I come from an architectural background, and it's not just people painting. There's really, really good talent here. In the pool of people that are here, I mean, if you just took a slice of society of 100 people and say, okay, you're all going to paint now, I don't know that you'd find talent in 100 people. It's just, that's staggering to me.
short, it's crunch time. This is a time for our artists, not only myself, but our artists, to get recognized. Hey, it's crunch time. It's got to be done.
Welcome to Matheny Medical and Educational Center, and to the Arts Access Program's Full Circle 2008, the first 15 years. Until Arts Access was created 15 years ago, they were not able to share their exceptional talent with us and with the world outside.
It's important for us to get it out there, you know, and to say, for them, you know, to say, look, I have a voice, I have something to say.
My wheelchair is a part of me. When he moves, it is like a tank under my control.
Access is my salvation. The whole program is built to realize we need to create too.
Fantastic brown, juicy pork. And sometimes you're a porker.
I honestly believe that these individuals are kind of ambassadors of a kind that is unique. Ambassadors of a culture that we completely ignore and misunderstood for centuries.
I wish I could hear my own voice. Speaking. Singing. Yelling!
You don't see people in wheelchairs. You think we are stupid. We will surprise you.
Look beyond what you see. Whatever your initial judgment is, it's probably wrong.
Some people believe that if you're not perfect, you're expendable. And, you know, it's the greatest thing in the world to stick it in somebody's face and say, ha, yeah, I can do something.